right, controversies of the day with Logan and Jay. How you doing, everybody? It is. Well, man, it's just colder than shitballs, Batman, here in the Midwest. Holy mackerel! I hope things are cool where you are. They're saying that a lot of people are going to get hit with ice storms in the south, and they worry about the infrastructure down there. So good luck to everybody down there. Let's hope everybody's power stays on.
Yeah, we'll see.
Oh man,
geoengineering at its best.
Ooh, yeah.
I think so.
Yeah. So how you been, my friend?
Cold.
Yeah. Dumb question. Oh my gosh. Well, I hope things are warmer wherever you happen to be. But yeah, most of the country going through quite a frostbite cold snap here for sure. So our president went to Davos, and I don't know if we should call this, who's your daddy, Davos? I don't know. The Trump supporters are acting like he went over there and he did a great job and blah blah blah. And, okay, maybe. I don't know. Is it all the theater? What do you think?
To it. It's just a big boys club.
Yeah. I mean, and this is something, here we are in America, we're all kind of polarized, right? And it shouldn't be this bad. And I do want America to come together. I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon, folks, but I think many people could be on the right, the left, center. I mean, I think a lot of people, just regular people, shouldn't you look at this and go, this is kind of gross. These super elite, super billionaires, heads of business, and a bunch of politicians worldwide all get together in this very elite area of Switzerland, Davos, Switzerland, once a year, and this World Economic Forum. I mean, I don't know. It's kind of. I think the whole premise is kind of gross. I don't know.
It's just the big boys club divvying up the world, right?
Yeah, basically. And I guess we're all just their slaves or their serfs or their peasants. Oh, please give me some bread, sir. I'll tell you, I don't know. And then especially over the years, how they've done all their, you gotta lower your carbon footprint, or Bobby.
You'll own nothing and be happy.
Yeah, own nothing and be happy by Klaus himself, Klaus Schwab. Talk about it. They'll throw this Nazi term around, and that's just so disgusting. By the way, the Nazis were the Nazis. Don't call somebody a Nazi unless they're literally a freaking Nazi. But that guy, ooh. He's got the accent. He's got the. Ooh,
was it Schwab or Soros? Which one actually worked for the Germans? One of them did to protect himself.
I don't know if they both did. Soros, you're correct. He was a boy.
Yeah. Okay,
and the story is that Soros had to work with the Nazis. He's like a teenage boy, young kid. He's originally from Hungary. And he's a Hungarian Jew, by the way. That's what they say. Although he says he's an atheist, so he's not really a practicing Jew in that sense. But anyway, they say he had to do some help with the Nazis, otherwise he would have been killed. So, it's one of those things. Okay, yeah. Look who you are now.
It's a nice coincidence of your story, how you turned out the way you are.
Yeah.
But anywho.
Anyway, our buddy Scott Bessent, supposedly he was a much younger man. This was in the early 90s. Soros went from rich guy to super rich guy. He did some shorting of the British pound in the early 90s. And supposedly Scott Bessent worked for him back then, and he actually helped them do that. So how much of the credit goes to Bessent? How much of that credit goes to George Soros? I don't know. This is probably more for the financial community. I try to follow those things, a little bit, the way some people follow, the way some grown men follow sports, and that's fine, folks. I just, the way I see men especially men, some women too, put so much, into sports. I mean, it's nice. We're doing the NFL playoffs here in America. Got Super Bowl coming up. You have the commercials and all the hype, and it's fun. But it's just a game.
It's like the Romans, right?
Yeah.
Give them entertainment, or give them the circus, whatever the saying is.
There you go.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, guys. It's this.
I mean, at least on this show and other podcasts, when we talk about things like gold, silver, interest rates, Fed talk, I mean, some of that bores some people, but maybe it shouldn't. Maybe we all need to think more about these things. This is the real game. It's going to affect you in your life. When you go try to get a mortgage, you try to get a loan, a car loan. I mean, this stuff's important.
To some, everybody else is just noise. They don't care.
Yeah.
They don't care.
I know. It's crazy, man.
Who won this award? Who beat these people? It's.
Yeah. I know, and I hate it because like it turns me into a closet elitist. I don't want to be an elitist. I don't want to.
It makes me so cynical.
Yeah.
Because no one else has seen it, so I don't want to say I get angry, but I get disappointed that people can't see this obvious stuff. It's happening in real time, and it's happened many times before this, so it's not like we're just making crap up. It happens.
Yeah, it does.
And it's crazier, though, as the past, 10 years at least have gone on, a lot of the stuff we all talked about is fucking happening now.
Seems to be rolling out, man. I know, it really does, and wow. So who's your daddy, Davos? Did Trump really, did he scare everybody? Or everybody gonna be kumbaya? Or Logan, do you think the globalists are just like, okay, we'll just wait Trump out here? He's a little bit of a rogue character. Maybe he is. Maybe just playing a rogue character. But
yeah, I think he's playing a character. I think, this isn't just Trump being the good guy for America. This is just realigning all the old globalists to the new regime. It was just a regime change. That's what we're good at, right? That's what America seems to be pretty damn good at. So it doesn't shock me that we're making this big change again, or at least it's looking like a big change when nothing's really probably changing other than some of the pieces on the board.
Yeah, a little more technocratic, like you say, the technocracy,
which will be used more and more. I mean, was it Palantir? Just gave I'll say ICE, I think ICE, some technology where it can actually do camera work, so it's watching neighborhoods, Ring cameras. That's another thing too. I think Amazon was approached. Now anything from the Ring cameras they can just take. So if there's like we had that Brown shooter, Brown University shooter, they used a lot of webcams or Ring cams and shit like that following this guy, their streets. So I mean, I'd be curious to know how they got that stuff, or if they just took it, if there was even warrants for any of these people's stuff, because again, that's an overbound. That kind of reminded me of the Boston shooting. The Boston shooting was completely, what do you call it?
Bombing, you mean?
Bombing.
Oh, the marathon.
The marathon bombing.
Yeah.
That was completely.
Those two brothers, they say.
Was that was a psyop, and that was conditioning to its fullest. I mean, two kids did this thing, okay, but you were house to house, telling people like martial law type shit, forcing your way.
I think they shut the city down. Yeah. Allegedly, I wasn't there, but
that's insane. Like, so we're willing to do that. Why can't we show that same use of force for getting the bad guys out of our country, or finding the missing child?
Or stopping the drugs from coming in.
Yeah, I understand it was a bombing. It was so much more horrible, and people are gonna try to rationalize this that was more important than this, but when really it's all the same shit. I mean, these guys. It's gonna get crazy. I think the Minority Report was a preview to the real life.
That was a movie, right?
Instead of the oracles, we're gonna have AI. So, which is funny because the AI is coming from Oracle, being funded by Mr. Ellerson. So, I don't know. It's not gonna be a good year. I don't think it's gonna be a good year. I think we're gonna have a lot more chaos happen.
Maybe not a good few years. Maybe that's what I'm worried about. I'm worried we're gonna kick into something here. I mean, hopefully I'm wrong, ladies and gentlemen.
Gloom and doom. It's always gloom and doom.
I mean, Trump's saying we're going to enter the new golden age of America, and all these wonderful things are coming. And and I have some friends who are hardcore MAGA, and I hope they're right. I hope you're right. I'm not here to poo-poo what you're saying. Well, I am here to poo-poo what you're saying when it comes to facts. I mean, want to see it first. We really want it to be real, and then we'll go, yay, I'll go yay with you. But, just him saying it, I don't know if that's going to be good enough. I mean, again, we talk about economic things here a little bit, and economy is weird. It has been weird. I mean, great gas prices are low. Trump's may even work with some Democrats, hopefully to bring some credit card rates down. That would be great. It hasn't happened yet. There's some good stuff there. Obviously, there should be some laws with our buddy Larry Fink and BlackRock. Why are they in all this real estate? They shouldn't be in residential real estate. Maybe they could be in commercial real estate, but why should they be in residential real estate and be pumping up the prices and so the average person can't afford a home? Well, at some point you do got to step back and go, okay, what's the...
We know why they're doing it. The sad part, the cynicism. What makes me cynical about it is that no one's willing to see this. That this is this is controlled. Right? This isn't just all times have changed, inflate. No, these guys have been working on this for a while. Like, remember 2008? That was dealt with in completely just to make money. Right? That's all that was for, and it was just hand over fist. People were just making money, and it crashed everything. They're going to do the same thing with this stuff, I think. Or they were trying to. They're just buying it all up, so now you're forced into renting something. Like rent. It's insane. 10 years ago, I was paying half for like the same size place. So
I'm sure a lot of people, unfortunately, can relate to what you just said.
That's just renting it. Imagine if you had some kind of fucked up home loan where all of a sudden your property tax, everything just, $1,000 more a month. It's.
Yeah. And people they weren't really explaining that back then. I think they called them ARMs, adjustable rate mortgage back then, and a lot of that was going on. And of course, if you're going to have adjustable rate mortgage, it's fine, but you need to, as the lender to the lendee, you need to say, okay, so when your monthly payment, goes up here 2 or 3 years down the road, what's going to be different in your life? Are you working on getting a degree right now or something, or you're going to get a promotion? Or do you understand what's going to happen here? The rate, your monthly, mortgage rate's going to go up, and a lot of people got sideswiped with that. And you brought up 2008, and I don't know if we probably should do a whole show on 2008. That was a horrible time. I think. It showed that a lot of people, the Fed chairman at the time, Ben Bernanke, what a useless piece of garbage. He was Bush's guy. And then Barack Hussein Obama kept him on. Kind of similar to what just went on here with Powell between, Trump, Biden, and now Trump again. It's like, wait a minute. This is why we have elections. I remember Obama, hope and change. I'm like, well, no, it's not a change. If you bring in George's idiot Ben Bernanke to, and they did. Like they thought, well, the market's got, markets wanted everything just to stay calm here because everything crashed. So it wasn't calm. This guy was an idiot who crashed our economy, into the ditch. And it wasn't just Ben Bernanke's fault, but he could have done things to make it less painful than it was. But yeah, 2008's horrible.
Yeah, get rid of the Fed.
Well, they got that too, and Ron Paul, he's, not a congressman anymore, but what a great guy, one of the few in government you can look at and go, all right, I don't know if he's right about everything, but that's a cool dude. It's a guy who, I think he enlisted. I don't know if he was even drafted in Vietnam. He was a surgeon in the Air Force, came back home, OBGYN, brought in 4,000 babies, 4,000 kids he saw come into this world. And then his passion was politics and Austrian economics. Yeah. And, that's a cool dude. And that's why, I'm a fan of his kid, Senator from Kentucky, Rand Paul. He's got a little bit of his dad. He's not as good as his dad, but he's close.
No, he's too catty.
Yeah, you think he's too catty for you, yeah. But you had something you wanted to say here? Okay. But yeah, we don't have sound money, and we said it last show, and silver just went over $100. So wow, congratulations to people that have some silver. I don't know what to tell you to do. Do you hold? Is it going to fall back down? Hard to say. Gold is not hit 5,000 ounce yet, but it's getting close. I think it just hit 4,900 the other day. Amazing. This thing was just like in the 2000s, like 2 years ago. You can go look up a chart on Yahoo Finance or Google Finance, wherever you want to go look up. If you want, people go check it out. It's telling us something, ladies and gentlemen. The dollar is getting weaker. The dollar's under pressure, and of course, Logan and I were a little cuckoo, right? We're cuckoo kind of guys, so we worry this is all going to head towards the digital age, and they're going to get, I'm personally worried about cashless society. The good news is we don't have it yet.
Damn near.
If you would have told me years ago, I would have thought by now we would have had it. So that's the good news, but I'm still really worried about it.
They're getting rid of the pennies.
Yeah, getting rid of the pennies, yeah.
Honestly, I rarely touch cash anymore. It's all done through the debit card.
I still like cash, buddy. I don't know if it's a generation difference or, I always like the idea of I have this cash, and when I go spend it, then it's gone. You know what I mean? And I know I had this in my wallet. I go spend it, it's gone. Not, okay, well, I'll use a card, and then I got to make sure, got to check the statement, I got to check this, and, So, but I mean, it's always good to check things anyway, just to make sure that your bank is doing everything properly, and the people you do commerce with are, not overbilling you. So you got to always check everything, I suppose. But yeah, I think the younger people, younger than you, I mean, they're all just getting used to the cashless society right now. What you guys can show you what a caveman I am, folks. It was a Vimo. You could do stuff with your phones.
I don't even use that, yeah.
Okay, good.
I'm doing that.
I mean, they can tap things with their phone. I'm like, huh? What are you doing? This is a little barcode thing you're just doing. Ooh, yeah, that freaks an old caveman like me out a little bit. Like, hey, But yeah, everybody's using different cards and different things, and I don't know. I mean, it's technocracy, as you say. It's just, I don't know. I think it's gonna happen really fast here, folks. When all of a sudden it starts out slow, and then we're just gonna go like a snowball down a mountain.
Yeah, I don't know. I think AI is going to climax here in the next couple of years, and it's not going to be a sustainable, free source of AI for people. Like I think like Google Gemini, OpenAI, I think all those are going to slowly disappear in the sense that you can use it the way you want. It'll just be integrated in to things and kind of give you the same, but not the same free form ability you have with it now, I would say. I want to say I read that OpenAI is like fucking like billions of dollars under, just because they're building, they got all this usage, people are, they're just not making money off of it. So I think there's going to be a point at which we won't see too many relevant leaps in AI other than like video imaging or video creation. That stuff I think will always excel, but actual AI, people might actually use it for whatever that might be, engineering or whatever. I think that's going to disappear real quick. I think I give it like another couple years. It'll be gone. It'll be one AI, and it'll just be integrated into everything, and that's where I think that's going to go.
Well, it's interesting from a financial markets perspective how there was the internet boom in the late 90s into the 2000s, and then there was a big, internet.com crash for the stock market, and then, there was a bunch of losers, things that went away, but then there were survivors. And then those just blossomed,
Yeah, I don't think
today.
that's this. No, I think these are two completely different bubbles. I think.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, I think this is a manufactured bubble. So, the internet, I think, came down to people just using it, right? Not enough people used it. It was a new thing. AI, because it's integrated into everything, and more so every day, I don't think these companies are getting their money's worth, right? So, just to build, to be able to give whatever ability to how much data or power, we'll call it, to an AI for me to use, regardless if I'm on like the high top tier thing, at $200 a month, you can't buy a video card, you can't buy RAM, you can't buy any of these things for that much money. So when they're building, they're spending billions of dollars. There's no way they're bringing in billions of dollars a month from users, especially when the majority of this shit is free in some sense. Or, I can use most of these pretty easily, right? And you don't have to pay for anything. You reach a cap and then they want you to pay, but you can bounce around all these things. I think there's so much usage being used. They're using this shit so much. I don't think they can't sustain growth for the amount of people that are doing it, and they're not getting enough money coming into it to grow fast enough. So I think there's going to be a fever pitch where we're right on the verge of having some giant complex built. Something's going to happen where it kind of cuts off, and it'll just be more of a government entity. You'll have small people with their own little AIs and stuff, but I don't think you'll have this big thing. I don't think there'll be an internet bubble that pops. I think it's going to be more of a planned. They'll get as much data they can possibly out of us, and then they'll just keep it. I don't think it'll be. It's like cell phones, right?
Well, there might be a consolidation of companies.
Maybe. That's that's what I would think. Really, when it comes down to what's AI about, it's about power. So we got the West, and then you got the only other ones that are deep into this is China. So, and I think I shared a video with you where it basically has this game theory play out where it's what was all the Western AIs are now consolidated into area, the United States government, and then you had China, and I think that's what it's going to come down to. It's going to come down to it needs to be weaponized in some fashion. So there's really not too much normal everyday people can use AI for. That's why I don't think it's going to be all that relevant to have me be able to come home and just jump on AI and do what, just talk to it, ask a question. Most people use it as just a faster, better Google. I mean, no, I don't think anyone's truly using it. I mean, it just seems kind of.
I do know of some young people who are using it almost as like a they'll go on some kind of AI psychiatry for like a psychiatrist to have.
That's not good either, man.
I know, it doesn't. I mean, if you can't afford a real one,
well, there's
I get
nuances that it's not going to pick up on. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
So I would think that would be bad for the mental.
It could be.
It's a Pandora's box, and now that we've opened it, I don't think it's going to get any better. I think it's just going to become more scary. I mean, I think it's pretty damn scary. There's videos online now that are almost indistinguishable if they're true or not.
Yeah.
It takes some pretty good discernment and pixel peeping the.
I've been duped a couple times. I gotta admit it. So some scary stuff, man.
We'll see. It'll be the next overlord, I think, in some fashion. I mean, we ain't that smart as we think we are, so I think it'll outsmart us.
Well, back to Davos. I'm sure they were talking a lot of AI there. And again, Scott Bessent was ripping on Gavin Newsom. And maybe behind the scenes, it's all pro wrestling. They're all buddies and, putting their arms around each other and having a glass of champagne together. But it was pretty funny. And he was comparing them to Patrick Bateman meets Sparkle Beach Ken. And it was very funny. And how Gavin has such low brain power about economics and financial matters that he almost makes Kamala Harris look smart as far as California politicians go. And it was pretty funny. But again, maybe it's just all just theater at Davos. Musk sat up there with Larry Fink, who may be our real ruler of the world. I don't know if Larry Fink is the real Antichrist or he is the real, president of the world, more or less. Whether
he's just the face, the custodian.
Yeah,
he still has his.
And Larry Fink is BlackRock, if you're not familiar. So. And he was up there with Musk, and they did some interesting things. And Musk joked around about being an alien and a time traveler, and they did a lot.
That's what the billionaires got to talk about, right? Let's not talk about the things that are supposed to. World Economic Forum. What a fucking joke.
Yeah, and I hope people understand it with this program. And I think I could speak for Logan here. There's left and right. People all concerned about this or that, or Trump's a dictator, blah blah, and fascism. They throw this word around like they know what it means. Okay, Logan and I are for the people of this country. Okay, however you see yourself in the political spectrum. And what does that mean? I mean, this is bad that home ownership is not happening now for many people till they get to be like 40. This is not a good thing, everybody. Propertyism, ownership. Again, people talk about wealth disparity and this stuff. Okay, but so the idea is we need to get everybody into capitalism. That's how you make it work. That's how you make it work. Again, a strong middle class. And that's what it's all about, And I don't know. I don't know. It's just it's a mess, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, gas prices are low still. Good thing, But affordability in several areas, it's not good. It's not good. And you see these billionaires over there in Davos. It's like, hey. You guys straighten any of this out? I don't know. Do you need to be taxed more? I don't know if that's the answer, but you guys need to either stop squashing the little guy, whatever it is. Get out of the way for the little guy. Let the little guy and gal. And I want to be clear. We're for small businesses, right? I mean, we're all about the small business man and woman out there. I mean, I think they're an endangered species. Look what they did to them with COVID. I mean, they will just come right down on them. I mean, there's so many people with a dream. Usually it's like restaurants and stuff, or service industry, Some guy wants to have his own, heating and cooling service, you know what I mean? It's just, it's a dream to be your own boss, to do your own thing, I'm all about that. I think you're all about that, and then the big dogs just want to get bigger and bigger and squash the little people. So whether you're left, right, or center, remember this show here, we're all about the people, okay? You think you only could be a lefty if you're really for the people. Well, I don't know. Some of us want some individual rights along the way too, so we see ourselves a little more, right-leaning as on the political spectrum. But this corporatism, this giant corporatism, and that's why it's all to me. Davos is just like the face of it all. It's a higher end of this, this pyramid of this triangle, and. Just look at these guys, and it is just gross and disgusting. On my street, I don't have any BlackRock real estate signs, but I do have Berkshire Hathaway. That's Warren Buffett and his group, And it's just kind of gross. Like, Warren, you own all these, insurance companies. You own a big chunk of Coca-Cola. Dude, this little house down the street for me. Why? Are you, and are you making that price go up? And BlackRock and everybody else that gets involved in residential real estate, Anyway, I hope Trump and Congress can come together on that and get them out of that. Maybe they can, do commercial real estate stuff, apartment buildings and big office buildings in big cities and stuff like that. But
I don't think they'll get out of it. They'll just regulate it in a way where they can get away with it.
Yeah, probably, man. I mean, so. I just want to be clear, America, we seem very divided, but some of these things, we need to come together, because if you sat down regular folks, man, I think, if you went to a cafe, a coffee shop, you went into a bar, I think regular folks would agree on a lot of this kind of stuff,
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But the news doesn't want to talk about that, and bring us together. No, they just want to keep us all mad and keep us all fighting. I don't know. Sad day. So... All right, buddy. Well, any more thoughts or comments on this crazy world we're living in? Anything else you want to say real quick about the Board of Peace? A lot of people making fun of Trump, who he's trying to appoint to this board. I guess he wants to have a Board of Peace to help him sort out the Gaza mess. Again, folks.
Or just fucking do it. Like, what is this dog and pony show?
Yeah.
Why do you need 20 different countries to help you do what? What? Either fucking save the people and tell Israel to stop fucking around, or just let Israel go in there and steamroll it. One of the two. Pick one. Well, what are we doing here? Like, more money? Now we don't have the UN or NATO we're dumping money into. We'll dump it into the Peace Corps, and that's how we'll start distributing money. That's not NATO or it's not the UN, so we'll be fine. It's fine.
Yeah,
what the fuck is that?
I don't know, man. I mean, there are Christians who have this whole Armageddon end times scenario laid out with Jerusalem, and the Antichrist is going to make peace there, and he's going to sit on some throne, and they got this whole big thing. I grew up with my two uncles, Uncle Bob and Uncle Gary, talking about this late great Planet Earth book. It was a bestseller back in the 70s by a guy named Hal Lindsey, I think. And anyway, and it was all this scenario stuff about the Antichrist coming, and it's basically all just in the book of Revelations anyway. It's somebody's interpretation, because Revelations is like, I want to make fun of it, but it's almost like somebody's doing shrooms or, LSD or something, and, they're seeing... It's a lot of symbolic and metaphorical talk, instead of being, there's a couple areas, like the Mark of the Beast is kind of like this.
Well, they could have had premonitions of the future, and because their language can't describe what they saw in our future, maybe that's why it sounds like it's all magical or shroom-like.
Yeah. But there are people that have a lot of religious views about that, and then some Orthodox Jews have some religious views, and then the Muslims have some strong religious views, and so... that area of the world, that area of dirt, it means a lot to some people in a more of a, religious, heavy-duty area. I mean, I think for the average American, we just want peace and calm. We want less of our tax dollars to have to go there.
Isn't it just hypocrisy in itself to say that we're better, our religion deserves this place, we're going to kill you to take it? How is that at all? How is that normal? How do you think that is? That's what God wants.
It's not good. And Jordan Peterson, he's brought up the point I'm about to make before, and other people have too. What's crazy is they're all Abrahamic faiths. So they all come from, at least in the story, from Abraham. I mean, Judaism, Christianity, and then later came Islam. And they all have, hardcore, I'll give you an example, just a little thing about the religions. Hardcore Muslims and hardcore, strict Jews, they don't eat certain things because it's not kosher, or it has to be blessed by, a religious person to make it kosher, something for them to eat. But yeah, so the Middle East is a hotbed. It's a religious, so the Middle East is a hotbed. It's a religious area with all the Abrahamic faiths, which is ironic because they all should be more together and respectful of each other than they are different. It's all just, it's crazy. It's crazy stuff. Again, I just don't want all of our tax dollars going there. I don't want to see any boots in the ground, American soldiers dying for any religious conflict or land conflict or whatever the hell you want to call it. Others, maybe our American left a little bit, they want to see a two-state solution there, but Israel for some reason doesn't want.
Because they're a bunch of racists.
They don't want it to become Palestine to become an actual country. Some European countries, again, more left-leaning, they're trying to say they recognize Palestine now. So there's a lot of just weird gamesmanship going on all over the world. I don't know.
Well, the ones that are recognizing Palestine aren't part of that cabal. They don't have any interest within their own country with those people. So they're able to call out truth without retaliation, being called anti-Semitic and mic bombed or something.
I don't know. So we just want peace, and it's funny. No,
I don't know. See, the peace I don't give a fuck about. I think as Americans we shouldn't want any more of this. We shouldn't be financing this. We shouldn't be the proxy warlords here. This is getting me. I don't give a fuck. Let the rest of the world destroy itself.
Well,
we have no skin in that game. And if it's coming from two groups of people that are just going to keep on going at it, there's no peace for thousands of years. There's been no fucking peace. Just they now have the means to do it. Let them destroy themselves. Then we come out with whoever's on top, and we can dominate.
If we stay out of it, that'd be great. But we're not going to ever stay out of it. So, like I said before, I just don't want us putting boots in the ground places, losing soldiers, losing lives. And I see a scenario via the fourth turning talk, via just our troops all over the world, of which we cannot afford. just money, people. I just see a bigger conflict coming in, and that's what I'm really afraid of. And if we can hold that off, they just have little things here and there, okay, great. And a volunteer army, volunteer military, great. But you and I both, and everybody out there is a little paranoid. What would PBD say about only the paranoid survive? So I think we're in strange times, folks, and unfortunately, it's probably only going to get stranger, right, Logan?
Who the fuck knows? I don't know.
All right. Well, thank you, everybody, for joining us once again. I know. I wish I could be more positive, people. I wish I could be more positive. I don't know. Who's going to win the Super Bowl? Is it going to come down to Patriots versus Seahawks? I don't know. Maybe it'll be I don't know. Maybe the Broncos get something to say about that. And the Rams, maybe. I don't know.
It's all rigged anyways.
Yeah, I know. There's been so many strange calls over the years. Like, these referees, man. Come on, people. And yeah.
Well, this playoff season was pretty crazy with some of the calls at the end of the games just to make point spreads.
Yeah, that was very interesting.
Well, yeah, like that's some weird ones.
They've almost turned it into an art and a science. And,
right.
and they're letting more people gamble now.
Who the hell was it? They got the 3 points to close the spread. It was like, I think maybe it was Green Bay. There's like an 8-point spread, and the 3 that they got from that field goal at the last couple seconds of the game, that they wouldn't have mattered anyways. They wouldn't have won. Boy, it fucking closed that spread up, and tons of money lost or made.
Yeah. Crazy stuff, dude. Crazy stuff. All right, everybody. It's early 2026. Maybe in a future show we'll do a little review of Trump and his 21st year back in the White House. A review of 2025 a little bit as we look forward to 2026 and all the crazy stuff that's probably coming, everybody. So, Log, take care. God bless. Any closing comments? So, all right. Take care, everybody. Love you. See your face at the movies. I hear your voice on the radio.